Hey there! So today we have another beer talk, and this is going to be about New England/Hazy IPA and the flaws in it. So, as a certified cicerone, there are going to be generally flaws in beer, and that includes something like diacetyl, which is a buttery flavor, acetaldehyde, which is a kind of appley green apple flavor, and those are from beers being not finished enough or yeast health and issues like that. And as we understand it, as we get more educated in beer, and as consumers, as we get more educated, and people get smarter, and the industry evolves, a lot more people now know what good beer tastes like and what bad beer tastes like. And thankfully, I've been around when past the time where I believe there's an area in craft beer where not great beer was being produced. So I think great beer is definitely being produced out there. But there's just so much haze now these days. And one of the most noticeable things that I noticed, and it's one of the worst flaws that I've come across, it can range from qualities of being acceptable in a beer, helping dry it out, to be completely undrinkable and burning the back of your throat. And I have an example here where it's not easy to drink, I would say. It's exceedingly dry. I don't think a lot of people understand what the reasoning behind this is, and I certainly can't very specifically tell you what's behind it. But from what I understand, and this is just perception, and I think some people would agree, is that in order to get this beer hazy, you're going to have a specific yeast strain that's going to interact differently than a lot of beers that clear out. So one thing might be in there is that there just might be more yeast in there. And if you've ever kicked a keg at a bar before, or seen the end of a keg, some beers have this just thick, like gloppy looking stuff. And it's the combination of yeast and proteins and polyphenols, and you drink that and it's dry and it stings. And so some of these New England IPAs have that issue because they're just not dropped out enough. So it's a combination of possibly yeast, and then even if it's not yeast, then it's definitely a combination of proteins and polyphenols, and the polyphenols are coming from the malt and or the hops, and then the proteins are coming from the malt. And then a lot of times these beers are using high protein malts, or using possibly wheat, and so you're adding more proteins, you're adding more polyphenols, and that's how you get the haze. That's how you get this combination of these two compounds connecting together and causing this haze in there. And you can have beer that is cleared out and have had a lot of those things pulled out. And you might see it if you cold crash a hazy IPA really well. Some breweries specifically try to do that, and they actually don't turn out that hazy, but they still have the awesome flavors of a New England style. But then some people don't want to do that because you might be stripping out the flavor. Who knows? I can't tell you specifically what the secrets are. I'm sure there are secrets because some of the great New England IPA brewers have ways of doing it and make delicious haze that doesn't have to have any of that kind of drying note. And so this is also a good place to say what it's like. I'm taking a sip right now, and I get the hops, I get some malt, and then like I expect the beer to continue a little bit more, have more malt, more fruitiness, and something to go on more. It shows malt, but then it dies so quickly. And then on the mid palate, this beer gets very dry. And it gets also, and it's also compounded by the fact that some of these breweries use calcium chloride. So you get the chalkiness to help dry out the beer as well. So the chalkiness is the calcium chloride is there to accentuate malt profile and really have that. But if they use it too much, it has a chalky kind of flavor to it. And then so you're amplifying that with the drying note, and there's sometimes light tingle at the back of your throat. And the beer just doesn't feel full. It just seems way too dry. And now you're just like sort of like having your tongue sort of scrape your teeth because you're trying to get something off of your tongue. I hope that makes some sense. I'm sure you've had beers that have that, and with so many New England IPA producers now, so many people producing so many different ones, you're going to have people just make it that way. And yeah, I mean, I think it's unfortunate that I poured down a lot of beers down the drain. Unfortunately, sometimes some of it that I've had to buy, which is unfortunate. And I think it's something that needs to be out there more, that more people should know about. So post in the comments below what you think about this flaw. To me, it's one of the more egregious flaws out there, especially so many New England IPAs out there. Until next time, guys, cheers. Later.